Well, we have ongoing thunderstorms across Texas today, and then severe weather potential for the northern plains and upper Midwest, a place that hasn't seen a lot of weather this season. So we got a couple pockets of marginal risk of severe weather, mostly garden variety storms, and then the ongoing threat of thunderstorms here in south central Texas that'll keep kind of going through the day today, mainly a wind threat. But tomorrow, Wednesday, we are looking at a slight risk across Minnesota, Wisconsin, into northern Iowa. Much of this is an area that hasn't seen a lot of severe weather yet. We talked about this last week, that basically you get north of Nebraska and Iowa, things have been pretty quiet. And then Thursday, that will follow along the cool front as it drifts south. It's all about tracking the dew points here the next couple of days, where you have that ample moisture, that Gulf moisture, and that is streaming northward into places like Minnesota, South Dakota, and Wisconsin today into tomorrow. And then again, that front will push it south, and that's why that severe threat will be further south into Iowa and Missouri, Illinois once we head into Thursday. The one thing that's going to be added to the mix tomorrow and Thursday is some shear. Shear is definitely going to be increasing as those mid-level winds increase from west to east into Wednesday and Thursday as well. So today we're looking at a very low threat of tornadoes in Texas. It's mainly a hail and wind threat for that south central part of the state, where again we have some ongoing storms that are rumbling across portions of Texas. You can see that cluster of activity thanks to this upper level disturbance or wave moving from North Texas into South Texas. Out ahead of it, more storms will develop in those outflow areas, and then we've got an area of just rain in the upper Midwest, but that's one of the areas that is potentially going to create a marginal risk again later in the day here on Tuesday. But ongoing storms, again, kind of refiring along those boundaries as they move south. It's mostly going to be a wind and hail threat, as we mentioned. You can see here, at least on our high-resolution rapid refresh model, some wind gusts that could develop here as we head into the later part of today into tonight. But the bigger story is going to be potentially tomorrow for severe weather, if everything can come together just right. We've got that slight risk. There is a tornado risk for Minnesota into Iowa. Large hail risk, over a 2-inch hail possible, and then a wind threat too, as those discrete supercells that develop kind of bow out into a cluster of storms that'll produce some high wind gusts. So there's gonna be a lot of energy even in the morning. This is late morning, and then again later in the day. And so what we're gonna watch for tomorrow, this is 9 a.m. Wednesday, some ongoing showers and thunderstorms are possible, and that could affect the afternoon severe weather potential. We're gonna have a low-level jet developing. Those are winds just a few thousand feet above the ground that'll be transporting heat and moisture. And then the afternoon, the energy bubbles up again more, but you can kind of see these areas that are sort of fizzling out. These are areas that the model, this specific model, is producing clusters of those showers and thunderstorms that would destabilize or stabilize the atmosphere in those areas. Significant tornado parameter could be potentially high, but again, it's going to depend upon where we don't have the morning showers, where things get the most destabilized. So as always is the case, don't pay attention to the specific model. It's showing these thunderstorms, but it's going to matter where everything sets up in the first half of the day. But there is the potential for some very strong storms. In fact, the high-resolution rapid refresh model produces some severe wind gusts across southern Minnesota, starting in southwestern Minnesota and then continuing into Iowa and southwestern Wisconsin. And when we look at the updraft helicity tracks, basically where the updrafts in these storms, they both kind of agree on southern Minnesota, northern Iowa. The NAM North American model has a bit more of a spread out scenario, whereas the high resolution rapid refresh model is a little bit more confined. So Wednesday could be an interesting day to watch. It will all depend upon what happens in the morning.